It's northern Michigan. I'm still recording from my mother-in-law's garage, and the neighbor has fired up the chainsaw. Oh, the tree went over too. Herman P. Hunter here. Today I want to talk about reader engagement. I know a lot of writers are like me. Chainsaw is going again. They're introverts, and they'd rather not actually directly engage with readers or with the public in general. They'd rather just sit at their desk in their comfy little home with maybe a fire going or with an aromatherapy candle going and write their books, publish them, and move on to the next. And there are a lot of people who have said to me in the past, well, such and such writer was able to make a fine living and a name for themselves without doing that. I can do the same thing. 9 times out of 10, the people who did that when there was no social media, when social media was a rotary telephone, or maybe a letter you sent in the mail, which could be easily ignored or passed off to somebody else. The reality is you have to engage. If you're going to have people pick up and read your books, you have to engage with them. You have to engage with them on social media. You have to engage with them with videos like these. And when you go to conventions, you're going to have to be sociable. And when you get to meet with authors, they'll probably ask you about stuff or talk to you about stuff or come up to you, and you need to network. Because those types of people will take your name and say, yeah, I've met him. He's a great guy. I read his book and I loved his book. And, maybe you should think about, taking a look at his next manuscript. Things like that. And when you get out to conventions, there's a bit of a salesman aspect to it. And I'll tell you something. I've sold a fair amount of books in the couple of conventions I was in this year. I increased my base in both instances. I intend on doing 3, hopefully 4 this year, maybe more depending upon how well things go. So the social aspect is kind of important, and you need to get out there and engage if you want your books to be successful. If you're only going to write one book, put it out there and hope somebody finds it's going to be lightning in a bottle, good luck with that one. It's rare when that happens, but even when it does, there's going to be people who are going to want to know you. And if you turn out to be a bit of a rude jerk, they ain't going to be following you for long. What was that phrase, never meet your heroes? And that's a dirty little secret, I think, to authorship is that, and it's something I've known for quite a while, is that people don't follow books. People follow authors. Because if they like one of your books, they will assume that the rest of them are like that. And so you need to kind of like build yourself up as well as your books. You are, after all, your own best salesman. Nobody else will be. You are your best promoter because nobody else will promote you as hard as you do. So don't be content to sit in a room and write books and hope one day you'll find a readership or fame or whatever it is you're going for. You need to actively get out there and engage with fans and interact with them. I'll never forget, I went to a convention called BaseCon, and at the end I was kind of somewhat ambivalent about whether I was going to go back for BaseCon 3, even though I had found a lot of connections there. Blaine Lee Pardoe picked my book up there, read it, and gave me a great review. Blaine Lee Pardoe is a big name in the BattleTech mech warrior space, and he's got a huge following, and he's got quite a backlist. And a name like that promoting you is a big deal. But that would have never happened had I been an introvert jerk and not interacted with him or any of the other people there. The story I was originally starting to tell you about going to BaseCon was I was somewhat ambivalent about coming back a third time because I wasn't 100% sure whether this is the direction I needed to go, even though I was selling a lot of books, at least for me. And I remember asking a couple of people that I had been, hanging around with, are you going to be coming back next year? Because I hadn't initially decided to come back yet. And one of them said, well, if you're going to be here, then I'll come back for certain. When I got back, I almost immediately signed up to go to BaseCon 3. Or is it 4? So, and that struck me as very odd, is that somebody would come back to see me. And I feel it's my obligation that, if they're following me or my writing, that I should probably be there and engage. I know that there's downsides to the whole public engagement stuff. It comes with the territory. Maybe one day I'll do a video on that. Who knows? But like I said, you really need to get out there. You need to engage on social media. You need to engage in person. This is, if you want your books to grow and expand, if you want to be an author that is read widely, this is the way you need to do it. I'm sure that there's ways of advertising that all cost money, and even these conventions, they're not cheap. But the whole point initially is to build an audience. And it's not something you're going to do from a spot down in your basement. You're going to have to get out there and interact. So anyways, that's all for now. I'll probably do another video out here. My feet are beginning to hurt. But I'll probably do another video, and then I'm going to have my son record another video for a book review site that hopefully they will accept. So anyways, until next time. Later. I really need to find an outro catchphrase.